Greetings, fellow modelers. Long time no see. It's been a year and a half since you saw my ugly mug in front of a camera. Okay, this video is primarily about updates. Updates for everyone. This is movie one of a 2 or 3 movie set. Now, what I'm going to show you is some video of some of the recent things that I've done and or bought in regards to supplies to make things move bigger, better, stronger, faster, more. All right, I just recently got a build job on a 6-foot Enterprise E. That money helped buy supplies to finish a lot of other projects. Unfortunately, there has been a few issues over the last year that I've had to contend with. As it stands now, I've totally reorganized the garage. I've totally reorganized the computer room. I literally gutted 3/4 of the computer room to be able to work in a temperature-controlled environment because I have to deal with the weather. Unfortunately, 90% of the garage is done, 10% is not. The last of the wiring and insulation is not done yet. So I don't have a temperature-controlled environment in the garage. So I've split things up for outside work and inside work. Now I'll be able to do things inside that I could not do before. I'll be doing electronics, molding, casting, detail work, you name it. I've got the outside to do the big stuff, cutting lumber and working on the big items, the full scale captain's chair, etc., etc. So I should be able to get about 5 times as much done because I've also went back to my original military roots and started making a plan of the day and my engineering college roots and started reorganizing everything for time management. So expect to see great things in the coming months. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Anyway, there's a little video after this, but not a lot. I've had to delete a lot of video, and I've updated a lot of things since then. This is only movie one, so if your model or project or build is not in here, it will be in the next one. So enjoy the video and keep on trekking. By the way, I had 2 of my guys tell me that they didn't want to see screensavers or slideshows. Tough. I use slideshows to show the progression of one model build section by section, step by step, in order to help my friends and comrades and fellow modelers. So you will see slideshows. Take care, folks. Have a great holiday season, and may the farce be with you, always. Greetings, here I am once again, showing some new stuff. Guess what? I just got a huge, massive contract. And in the process, I started picking up supplies. So virtually the biggest part of this movie is going to be all about the tools, parts, and supplies that I bought to really start kicking tail on a bunch of these builds. Now, as you can see here, I've got there's four sheets of almost 3/4 inch plywood. Really high quality stuff too. I stumbled across this at Hood's for $7.99 a sheet. If I'd had a truck, I would have bought every sheet they had. You just can't find lumber like this. I'll have to show the top of it another time or later in this video. Also, I bought 2 sheets, 4 foot by 8 foot of PETG, clear PETG, to do some scratch building with. And I bought 2 sheets, and I still have another half sheet, 2 sheets of 80 or 60 thousandths polystyrene. So I've got plenty of scratch building material, and plenty of lumber at this point, so I can move forward on several things. Now this lumber is going to come in real handy on the model base, because I'm building a massive model and a massive base, and there's going to be a lot of interesting facets of the model and the base, but we'll get to that another day. Let's go look at some more of the supplies I picked up recently. And here you see more supplies. As you can see, you know, if you've got lumber, you've got to have putty. So I've got a boatload of putty. I've got stocked up on some paints. This is only part of them. Got primers, so gray, red, tan. This is for the inside of the Eagle. Got my transparent red and transparent blue, and I've got some bright yellow for details on the refits and a couple of other models. Foam core for making mold boxes. I've got 2 orders I'm trying to fulfill on the 1-to-1 Nomad, so I'm going to be molding and casting detail parts next week, as I got a boatload of silicone, and I'm going to show you guys at some point how to take this cheap foam core and use it as if it was the expensive foam core, just by using a little bit of wax. I've also got 2 antennas here, 2 electric antennas that are going to go into the Nomad builds, and I'm going to have to cut down both of them. I'm going to have to cut the shafts down to get them to fit, and cut the antennas down slightly. I haven't quite worked it out, but I'm sure I can figure it out. I've also picked up some models and some bases. This is only one. I picked up, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these and a couple of square ones. I've already got a build up. I just showed the video on the War of the Worlds tripod, and I've already got a build on that, lights and sounds. This is already in production. This I got for myself. I've got a Robbie the Robot build in progress with lights and sounds. I'm going to do a kit review on this. For the price, I'm not really psyched about the kit. Finishing up one of these for Lance, like right now, and you may have seen in a previous movie the kit review and let's build on the Hanabu. Also, I've got an Enterprise E that's opaqued and ready to sand and shoot with primer, and I've got a boatload of silicone and resin, and I'm going to be showing that. I've also stocked up on clear cast, so I'm good for that too. I'm going to be kicking some major model rear end here pretty soon, and I've got perfect weather right now. The heat and humidity is just about done for the summer, so I've been cleaning the garage and straightening out everything, reorganizing, and getting ready to totally kick some tail and get some of these projects out the door. We'll see all the silicone and some of the rest of the stuff in just a minute. And here is just some of the silicone and resin I've ordered. I've got some molding clay. I got a brand new box of molding clay too. More silicone and resin. And over here, even more resin. And I've got a whole 5-gallon or 1.5 5-gallon orders of silicone that have already came in. So as you guys can see, I'm very serious about getting some of this work done. Enterprise Shuttle Galileo, you are cleared for landing. Landing lights have been activated. Come on home. Okay, here you are. 8 LEDs running in sequence. This circuit is variable, but I cannot hold the camera and adjust the circuit. My tripod's out in the garage, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. Okay, I wanted to go over a couple of things briefly. One, you really only need 3 LEDs. 1, 2, 3. You can do it with 2, but 2 doesn't give you much of a time difference between the flashes, so it kind of comes off a little bit too fast. But if you run with 3 LEDs, then you just run additional LEDs in parallel, i.e. 4, 5, 6 are going to be tied into 1, 2, 3. What I'm saying by that is you run them in parallel, and then you don't have to have that many channels coming out of your circuit. You only need 3 channels coming out of your circuit, and then you just repeat it in parallel up to at least 3 LEDs a piece running in parallel with each other. If you run them in series and one of the LEDs goes out or has a cold solder joint or something like that, then you lose all 3 LEDs. But if you run them in parallel with these voltages and currents, you're not going to have a problem. Also, the way this circuit's set up, you can have 2 LEDs firing at once, so you get a slightly different pattern, and 3 LEDs and so on. But when you're only running at 8 LEDs, for me, I think this is the perfect way to go. Additionally, I've got these LEDs up the center line. You could put the LED underneath on the center line, epoxy it, and epoxy fiber optics to either side of it, and have 2 lines going up the center line. Or you can run LEDs in parallel, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'll just look like it's in series. So you'll have 2 lines going up the center line, one on the left, one on the right. There you go. Captain Quirk's Electronics 101. Landing bay lights. Alrighty then, I wanted to show this briefly. This is going to be the Rocket Girl. I'm going to remove some of the details, add new details, do some final cleanup, and then section her for making molds. I will cut off both arms and legs and the head and the collar for separate molds. And this she will sit on top of a rocket, a retro rocket from the pulp era. So this is going to be a retro rocket pulp era Rocket Girl. Let's have a look at our Enterprise E vacuum buck parts. Alrighty then, here we go. Here's part 1. As you can see, I've still got plenty of meat to take away. See there? Now, this is the minimum. The minimum on the top, or pretty close to. And this is the maximum on the bottom, where it fits into the next part. Now I've just begun to smooth and shape these, but first I had to get them in alignment, which you can see there is a gap, but I'm going to take care of that. No problemo. So when working with wood, you've got to think about especially something like this, because these are really sanded shaped edges. When it gets down to it, you've got to have your minimum and your maximum. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bridge, the actual prototype bridge, to trace out in the center of this. Then I'm going to start shaping this some more, this one part, the BC deck, what have you. Then I'm going to use that when it's done, when this is done, I'm going to use that to center it, trace it out, and start shaping and smoothing some more. Some of it will be done with the orbital sander. Some of it will be done with files, sanding paper, and hand sanding. So there you go. Making parts for a 6-foot Enterprise E. Don't you just love it? Boom, chicka boom. Let's have a look at the true scale of this soon-to-be Enterprise E starship. I'm sorry. I can't get over how friggin' huge this thing's gonna be. My God. And just to show a little scale, okay, there's the bridge. Now, this is a digital camera. Obviously, this is part of a 12500 refit. Little teeny tiny eensy weensy model. This is a pack of cigarettes, 100s to be exact. And this is a can of cat food. Now, if I pull back, you will see how truly awesome this is going to be. These parts are laying on a 4x8 foot sheet of plywood. When this is all said and done, it will be 6 feet long. The base itself will be almost 6 feet long, and it will be something really special, as will this Enterprise E, the electronics, and of course the sound files, phasers, photon torpedoes, or quantum torpedoes. Please forgive me, I misspoke. Quantum torpedoes. Alrighty then, there you go. A look at the full scale. Well, a few parts of the size of the scale model that will soon be. Bigger, better, stronger, faster, more. Let's have a look at some of the Eaglemoss stuff. Well, I've only got the one thing. I got this as a study model for a job that I'm working on. And I've got to say, I got it cheap. I got it for $27. And I think for a little die-cast Federation Hot Wheels, it was too expensive. Yes, it's true. Even though I got a good deal on it, it's too expensive. $27 for this little bitty, what, 2-inch toy? And all this stuff that's in the book is available free online from Ex Astris Scientia, or Ex Astris Scientia, however you want to say it. $27. Do I think it's a good deal at $27? No, I don't. Even though it's cheaper than the original price. Little bitty, teeny tiny 2-inch Hot Wheels Federation toy. $30. So, if you ever thought about buying some Eaglemoss stuff, there you go. I got this on eBay cheap to use it as a study model for a project I'm working on, and guess what? It is not worth it. Thank you very much. One Star Trek Command Delta. That's it.